getting the contract finalized for closure? Any other details, anything to update us on that?
The biggest update that I can give is associated with the contract signing that we have been working so diligently on, particularly around the insurance that is required for the controlled implosion. We did have somewhat of a setback, as I warned. I actually warned not only the city council, but what this could do to set us back. However, we have been moving aggressively as we have since October on this, and so we're closer than we have ever been before. So we're still within the timeline that we gave less than a month ago. So we're still right around mid-March for the controlled implosion, and so that's the biggest thing. You know, wanting to make sure with the timeline that we're still where we need to be, and we're also moving things along, working with the state, with our governor on this as well, as we mentioned previously. But things are moving. I feel much better about this controlled implosion than I felt throughout the entire process. But we're moving along.
I wanted to follow up. Can you get specific on what those setbacks were and how I'm guessing you're saying they relate to this?
Well, I mean, what we told, it's absolutely what we had indicated previously in terms of what a public display could do to negotiations relative to getting insurance satisfied in order to move forward with the controlled implosion. One example is just the cost has risen because of the public display. And also we had a couple back out. And that's what we were warning about. But at the end of the day, we're moving along in a very concerted effort, a collaborative manner with the state partners, meaning the governor, as well as with the construction firm that the owners have engaged on the project. And hopefully we will have something signed, and I'll be able to present that to you very soon. But every day progress continues to be made. But the setback was real. I have to be honest about it.
What was your response to that?
Well, my response to public action has been the same. I welcome it. You know, as a community leader, there's nothing better than making sure that your voice is heard, particularly in this tragedy where lives were lost. 2 of our people remain, in that building. And so what it means to me is that they're not forgotten, and more importantly, that the family members who are still suffering and will continue to do so even when we have returned their remains, that their loved ones are not forgotten in this process. That's what it means to me. So I welcome it 100%, and I'm hopeful that once we retrieve our people, Quinyon and Jose, that the public will continue to remain vigilant and on top of the process that has to unfold in the judicial arena to ensure that justice that justice is rendered, at the highest level. And that's what my administration has been about and wanting to see come to fruition. And we will not waver at all in this process. And at the end of the day, justice that our people deserve. So thank you.
Last question. Jim?
I would just say, and I don't know if you have a comment on this, but 4 months ago, could you ever imagine that building was going to stand today and that we would be in this situation? There was hope in the beginning, there was a determination to get people out, that ultimately was impossible.
Well, based on the project itself and the issues with having bodies in the building, that's been the top priority. It's being able to do the extraction and at the same time keeping people safe and not losing further lives. And so it's complicated things a great deal because we have remains still in that building. In terms of a demolition, and the safest way to do it is controlled implosion. It's what we had started on from the beginning. but also thinking about getting the remains and extracting them in a manner, we went towards the traditional, but that proved to be just unsafe. And here we are. And even now, with wanting to get to the end of the contract and the insurance that's required to move things along. But I have to say, I feel better than I felt in a mighty long time, because we know what needs to happen. And that means controlled implosion to bring it down, but at the end of the day, get our people out of there first and then collapse the structure. It will not happen overnight, even once we have our remains out of the building. You have demolition, debris removal. It's a process. And one indicator that I've kind of used, and it's not the same at all. It's not the same. But when I think about and when I watch the demolition of the Times-Picayune site, and even how long, that process took, although it was swift, but it takes time. But you see progress week after week after week. That's what I'm waiting to see on Hard Rock. Progress week after week after week when it speaks to the demolition of that building. We're going to get there, and at the end of the day, we're going to get the justice that our families deserve based on the tragedy that we've all experienced. So thank you.
Last question.
Oh.
Well, I guess my last question would be, do you have a timeline after the implosion, like how long the cleanup process will be, and when you think, this might work?
Ramsey, how long was that? 90 days total, bringing it to grade. So once we start, which we're still aligned right now with that mid-March timeline. So about 90 days from that mid-March timeline, that it should be down to grade level, which means right at the ground.
And then the cleanup time after that?
Well, the cleanup time is embedded in that 90 days. So that's not only the demo, that's also the removal of debris associated with the site. So 90 days, that will be much faster than what we were told if it was a traditional demolition. And I'm still aligned with the family saying, bittersweet. Sweet because it's going to be done faster, and their remains will get back to them sooner. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.